through the ride. I feel 100%. You know, these guys, day in, day out, they stuck with me by my side every single day, encouraging me, with me through rehab, with me through the workouts. That's what mainly kept the fire in myself, by the encouragement from these guys and being able to come back again off another injury.
How long has this year seemed?
It's been a long year. It's been a long 2 years. You know, tearing, getting hurt back-to-back years, that's very unfortunate. But, for me, it was a wake-up call, and being able to come back off of that is truly a blessing for sure.
How's your mindset changed? I mean, having this thing taken away from you for 2 years,
yeah,
probably a lot of stuff going on between the years. What was that like for you, Markel?
Yeah, it was definitely a mental challenge for sure, but it helped me appreciate the game more, appreciate, being alive every single day. Just having things taken away from you can really wake you up, and I'm just so appreciative to going through what I've gone through, and now to be able to come back again, I'm really proud of myself for sure.
And it's got to be hard. I mean, it's just in your head, but do you have any exercises when you go out there on the field and play? I mean, you can't sit here and play this game and think every play, don't get hurt, don't get hurt, don't get hurt. You just got to go. Like, is there any exercises you've done where you don't think about the last 2 years when you're out there?
Yeah, so it's definitely, going through the process of that, getting back on the field, that's definitely challenging. But throughout the process, throughout the progression of coming back, those are the things that we worked on. So, like, building confidence, that was part of the rehab recovery that I have to focus on. So getting on the field now, it's okay. I'm 100% confident getting on the field.
I was talking with Coach Warren the other day, and he said you're a guy that can play both field and boundary corner. What makes it different for you? Is there one you like better? Is there one you think you're better at?
I like both, because being in the boundary, you got to show up in the run game a little bit more. Being in the field, you get more route concepts. So it's just a little bit of different game style play from the field to the boundary. I enjoy both of them.
Were you ever able to, this offseason, talk with Latrell and give him some encouragement or guidance because he's going through what you just went through?
Yeah, when the injury happened with Trill, I've talked to him. I hit him up every single day because I know the exact feeling having your season taken away from you. It's not a good feeling, but I know Trill, and he's a guy that's not going to stop. He's a guy that's going to keep grinding and be 100% better.
Demario Warren was telling me, he kind of looked at you as an inspiration as he went through his own surgery recovery this offseason.
Yeah.
What was it like, watching a coach go through the same thing as you, during that time?
Yeah, so there was actually times me and Coach Warren had rehab at the same times. We had rehab at ISMI. He had some things to do over here as well. So, but me and him going through the same things, we were just kind of pushing each other, encouraging each other along with the process, because there would be days his knees would be hurt and it would be kind of hard for him to coach, and that's where he rely on me to help lead those guys in the room for sure. So.
Can you take us back to that night in Avalos? I think everyone in the stadium who knew what you had gone through saw you on that cart with the emotion, just like, oh, not again.
Yeah. So, the night in Avalos was a devastating night for sure. Going through that was very unexpected. My second drive of the game, my knee gave out. So that's what really happened. That was a very unfortunate situation. But throughout that whole time, I was still with the guys, still showing up to meetings, working out with the guys throughout the season and helping those guys out throughout the year for sure. So.
Did you know right away when it happened that it was going to be bad?
Yeah, I knew right away. When it happened, I knew it was going to be bad. When I got to the sideline, I had a lot of emotions going through my head. And when I went straight to the tent and they brought me ice, I already knew.
Your journey and your ability to battle back, I'm sure, has served as an inspiration to a lot of your teammates. But who serves as an inspiration for you?
My inspiration is really just my brotherhood on this team. Being back with the team, playing with these guys, that's really what makes me happy. Sitting on the side, watching them do what I want to do was a major pain throughout the process for sure. I'm just wanting to get out there with the guys, wanting to play with them, wanting just to run around and catch the football. And one of my first times, just catching the football was one of the most exciting things for me because I thought I would just never do it again.
You talked about Billy, and he said, a big reason why he came back is he called it unfinished business. Why did you come back? How would you characterize that?
Same thing, unfinished business. We got a goal in our mind. We got personal goals, we got team goals. And if we feel like those goals aren't accomplished, then we're going to accomplish them one way or another for sure.
What do your personal goals look like for this season?
Staying healthy. That's the main goal for me. Stay healthy. That is my #1 goal. To finish the season.
What's your
Going back
eligibility?
to you coming back this season, was that an easy choice for you, or did you consider hanging up the cleats considering what you've gone through the last 3 years?
When I first got injured in the Corvallis, I had a lot of emotions going through my head, but it was an easy decision. Once I got past all those emotions, it's unfinished business. So I already knew it's going to take a lot for me to quit, and I'm going to keep going every single time for sure.
What's your eligibility? It feels like doesn't have to be your last year, right?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be my last year. I am a senior, and I have a COVID year left for sure. Yeah,
So you're going to play this year and then one more year next year if you want it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Markel, I mean, I guess I'm reading the preseason stuff a lot, but every year you guys have been in the Mountain West and been picked to win. You guys haven't attained that since 2019. Is there anything is that history that you guys acknowledge at all or fuels you or anything like that?
Yeah, so knowing that we're basically placed to win it all every single season, that's kind of standard for us. We expect to dominate the conference every single year. And I know that we've come out unfortunate the last 2 years or whatever, but just leading into the preseason, that's just what the standard is. We preach winning, we preach doing the right things, and just encouraging our brotherhood to do their best and day in, day out.
You've been. Go.
As a guy who's been here for a while, where do you play the role in helping the little things get figured out so you guys can be champions of the year?
Yeah, so we have a very good player-led team for sure. When the young guys the young guys looked up to the older guys for leadership, we have a good player-led team for sure. We got a lot of guys who lead each other, who ask questions, who are not afraid to ask for help. So that's what helps us get the edge on other teams for sure.
You've been here so long, it's kind of crazy to go back to your time in high school. You were committed to Texas Tech, then chose Boise State. Can you kind of take us back to your recruitment process?
It was a long time ago, but yeah, my recruitment process was a wave. When I was committed to Texas Tech a long time ago, they lost their coaching staff. Kingsbury went to the league, and then that's whenever I wanted to explore other options, and Boise State was the #1 option for me.
Those are very different programs. Like, what attracted you to Boise State after, kind of being committed to a Big 12 school?
The winning tradition.
Okay.
That's what we do here is win.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
What have your impressions of the receivers this year here? Where do you think maybe they've taken their greatest strides between the end of last season and now?
Oh, they've taken major strides for sure. We got guys like Billy, Static, Emac, Young Prince. We got a lot of guys that's getting reps on the offense and defensive side of the ball. Even if I can't remember the names off top right now, there's a lot of guys getting reps, competing every single day. Even though we have day 2 practice, these past 2 days have been really competitive out there.
Do you enjoy when the calendar flips to August? I mean, do you have a countdown to start fall camp? Like, how much do you like this time of year?
I don't really have a countdown. I just take really just day by day, especially with what I have going on personally with my past injuries and everything. So I kind of take it day by day and attack every day, one at a time.
When you got here, you're guarding Khalil Shakir, John Hightower, C.T. Thomas in practice, guys who a couple went to the NFL and whatnot. How does this group, in your opinion, maybe relate to some of the past receiver groups you've seen in the past since you're out there covering these guys every day? Can they be on that level of like where you guys had it when you had Hightower and Shaq running around out there?
Oh yes, for sure. They can surpass that level for sure. Not to downplay none of those other guys who are in the league for sure, because those are dominating players. But the players that we have now on our team on the offense side of the ball, they're really explosive, they're really physical, and they're going to go up and compete for the ball.
Billy Bowens isn't the fastest receiver. He isn't the biggest receiver, but he's been productive as heck the last couple of years. Why is that? What does he add to the offense?
Well, his work ethic is outstanding, #1. His different route running ability is so different. When I'm going against him, he gives me different looks of different route concept, his shades, his alignment. He does a good job of just knowing the game of football. His FBI is so intelligent that what makes him good.